Yeah, so meal prep is this Sunday. I'm gonna hopefully remember everything we're making. It's a vanilla yogurt bowl is breakfast. A white bean and roasted red pepper hummus, which is actually not a blue. It's a half a yellow. And was it a part of a green? I'll have to look now. It was half a yellow. I remember that. It was not a blue. And then we're also going to be doing grilled pork chops with a peach and jalapeno salsa. And then a tropical salad with mangoes, avocado, and chicken. And that one looks really good because it's going to have some jicama. It's going to be really fresh. And yeah, that'll be yummy.
Oh, I love jicama. Now,
Yeah.
do you guys actually grill during the class? Like, do you
So what I do is we get everything prepped and then you can either go to your grill then at the end. So we get everything done leading up, or you can grill at your dinner time since we do it a little earlier. Like last week, I didn't do my grilling until dinner time, but I had everything else ready. Yeah.
Luckily for me, on the East Coast, it is dinner. I call it dinner time whenever I'm done with prepping.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So, and you could then just go straight out and grill your pork chops, like, cause we'll get the salsa made, we'll get the salad all chopped up and ready. And then you can either have your chicken grilled ahead of time or just any kind of shredded pre-cooked chicken for that tropical salad. So it can be done ahead of time, or we can just do it at the end and then mix it all together. So either way, it'll all work out. And this one should take us about an hour, the same as last time, because we're not like finishing everything together. So yeah.
Sounds great. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm excited for it. All right, well, we'll get into the topic. So today, thanks to Kim, we got a good topic about staying on track during vacation. And I also wanted to tack on after you get back, right? Because I think sometimes we go on vacation and then we keep the vacation mode going a little bit longer. So we'll talk about both pieces and both things today. And then we can go into food labels and questions and whatever else we have for the hour. So let's start with while we're on vacation. First, I think it's really important to have a mindset shift that the vacation is about experiencing a lot of things, not necessarily the indulgences, right? Not necessarily the alcohol or the foods, but really experiencing wherever you're at, whoever you're with, whatever you're doing. And so if vacation is a time where you tend to overload because I don't know if you could make it like a treat yourself or like a you know what I mean? Sometimes it's like your time where you just feel like you get to do it all, but then you don't feel as good while you're doing that, right? Or after you've had those kinds of meals. So I like to look at vacation a little differently, not necessarily that it's, I'm going to have the foods I enjoy but I'm also going to really be present in the experiences and enjoy the time I'm having with people and maybe not make it so food or alcohol focused. Okay. So along those lines, my recommendation would be like, pick a meal that's important to you to splurge on. If it's lunch, if it's dinner, if it's having an afternoon treat, if it's having alcohol at night, pick the time that's going to be your splurge and then try to keep the rest of the meals like any other day. So breakfast, no matter where you're vacationing, usually can be done pretty much with a carb, a veggie, a protein, some fruit, whatever, right? Most hotels, resorts, places you go to are going to have some pretty regular breakfast things that you can keep your breakfast usual. Lunch, same thing. I mean, I know when we've gone to different resorts, there's lots of great salad options. There's lots of great veggie options, and light lunches can be light. So if dinner's where you want to splurge, you can splurge there. If you wanted to have alcohol that night, then maybe that's where you're splurging and keeping your dinner more of a protein veggie mix kind of a thing. So along those lines, and definitely stick to your Shakeology. Yes, I always travel with my Shakeology. That is a not negotiable, right? Because that is keeping you, one, you're getting great nutrition. Two, you're getting fiber to flush everything out. And three, you're getting a good source of protein. So if you're not getting as much protein, in your other meal options, then that's a great way to just kind of keep things steady. And it's a treat. I mean, for me, I just had mine. I had the strawberry, and I'm like a fruit. I love fruit, right? So for me, it helps have some fruit, but not overload on fruit. It's like I get that fruity treat, and then I feel satisfied, and I've had my treat for the day. So same if you like chocolate and you're getting the chocolate Shakeology. So definitely keeping, you know, focus on where you want to splurge, keeping the rest of the meals as usual as possible. Always adding in water when you're traveling, right? It's like, I don't know what happens in the airplane. It's like it sucks the water right out of you.
That's
But
what they say.
what'd you say, Kathy?
That's what they say. It does because of the altitude.
Oh, well, there you
Right?
go. So, okay, I was being scientific, I guess, right? I was just making a
Yeah.
joke.
They always
But
tell you to drink on the plane.
yeah. So definitely make sure you're getting in that water, right? Make sure and because you're probably going to be more active. I tend to be more active, I guess, on my vacations than my normal life at home. So make sure you're hydrating well. And if you are drinking, have water in between drinks, right? Spaces out the drinks and also keeps you hydrated and not quite, all the effects of the alcohol. So Lily's our resident traveler. I'm curious what you find helps you when you are traveling the most.
Shakeology saved me this week because I was on an event, and when I'm on events, I don't get to choose what I eat a lot of times because it's served to me or it's a buffet, and I didn't get to pick the food usually. So Shakeology saves me every single time. I bring my Shakeology with me on the airplane. I bring it in my suitcase. I had my Energize, my beach bars also, because guess what? When you're standing in a parking lot full of cars, there are a ton of snacks that are lots of sugary things that are also sitting there with the cars because manufacturers and journalists like to eat a lot of crap, unfortunately. So, so I have my beach bar with me. It always, I always pack extra of those and then extra Shakeology if I need to pick me up in the afternoon instead of grabbing the gummy bears or the, all the other sugary stuff that they have. So I don't bring a blender, but I don't mind my shake. Just like I actually had the cookies and creamy this time, which I don't normally, I've never had just shaken with just water, and it was actually really good. I was surprised. So that's what I had this whole week. And I always try to pick as many vegetables as I can and put that on my plate. We had barbecue for one of the lunches at this like swanky barbecue old western town that we went to on one of the drives, and I skipped the cornbread, but I had a little bit of mac and cheese. So but I made a conscious choice of, okay, I'm not gonna eat the cornbread, but I'm gonna have, I put like a big spoonful, which was like 3 bites of mac and cheese on my plate just so I could try it. And then I had a whole bunch of vegetables, and of course, the salad comes with dressing on it usually because it's a Caesar salad. And so you just make the best choices you can when you can. I didn't eat the skin off the chicken. So there's ways to get around things that are served to you and still make good choices. So I filled up on vegetables and didn't eat the skin and skipped the cornbread. So.
Perfect. Yeah. So it's all about choosing what's important to you, right? Like something that you want to splurge on, and then the rest you fill in with the best, whole food options you can, and enjoy what you splurged, right? Enjoy your choice and move on.
Yeah. Pretty much. And then, yeah, you just that. And again, I bring, like when I fly to Hawaii, I have an entire suitcase full of a bag of Shakeology for my husband and I, because we drink it every day, and my fiber and my Energize. And you can bring all that stuff with you on the airplane, but they don't, they don't really blink. Sometimes my husband shoves his Shakeology in his cup, and they actually questioned him at TSA the other day, and so they wanted it out of the cup, but it's just not a big deal. So
That's good to know, because I know some people have like, I know packets and flying with the bag and flying with powder in a Ziploc has all been fine. So because it's powder, but
yeah, I've never had a problem with it, so at all. So, and I goes where I go.
yeah. Yeah, and if you're in a place too where, like, depending on where your hotel is or what type of vacation you're on, it's also an option to go hit the grocery store. And there's tons of, grab and go type things, veggies and fruits that are already made up that can sit on your counter. I mean, I have cherry tomatoes and snap peas all the time in the summer, just kind of sitting around, so I can just grab a handful and have those as a snack. So, there's things like that to do too if your other eating options aren't as great, right? You can hit a grocery store next to you and get a few options to have in the room so that you can maybe not go somewhere starving too. That's the other thing, to not like wait to eat, so that when you get to wherever you're going, you're just like inhaling everything, keeping yourself on a regular schedule like you normally would do. Yeah, at Summit, you'd get veggies and stuff like that. Yeah, it's perfect, right? Because you can set them in, and most hotel rooms have a refrigerator. I mean, some don't, but like there's a lot of options that you can just sit out too. And then,
Even if they don't have a refrigerator, a lot of times if you ask, they will bring one to your room. They just don't advertise that they have them.
oh yeah.
A lot of times they'll,
And if not, you fill up the sink with ice. and
There you
put
go.
what You need in there.
yeah, you can, and just choose vegetables that last.
Yeah.
There's plenty of vegetables that will last a long time in your room, and
Right.
no big deal.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll never forget. Like I had gone to Summit before, but I never thought about going to the grocery store. And I roomed with Denise, and she was like, "I've already mapped out where the Whole Foods is. Let's go." And we went, and the whole place was wiped out, completely wiped out. Like there were maybe one little pack of carrots here, and like it was hysterical.
That's hilarious. I love it. Any other tips from anybody about while you're on vacation? Things you like to do?
I have a weird one, but it's worked for me in the past. Like, so whenever I go, my favorite ice cream store is at like Rehoboth. I love my Core Brothers frozen custards. So I started like every day just saying like, oh, I'm gonna have that on Tuesday. Oh, I'm gonna have that on Wednesday. So like the longer I could put it off in the week, the less days I had it. Because once I had it, then I wanted it every day. So
That's
like, it's just like pushing the initial indulgence forward helped me a little bit. So it's
Good
Yeah.
idea, Kim. I like that idea.
Yeah, that's a great plan.
And the same goes for home. If you don't buy it, you can't eat it. So if you buy a bunch of junk on vacation, you probably, unfortunately, will end up eating it. So I always try to have some healthy treats that I can eat and not feel like I'm depriving myself, and still having something sweet or some kind of treat. But if I buy the junk, then it gets eaten. So I just don't buy it a lot of times.
And there's the trick of like ordering what you want at the restaurant and then splitting it and taking it back.
Definitely. Yeah.
And even splitting it before it gets on your plate and you're eating it and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Having them split it in the kitchen. Yeah. And you can also go with that whole mindset of, I don't have to have all of it. It's going to be really good, right? Whatever you're eating is tasty, but you don't have to have it all. You can eat till you're full and be done. And either like if you have a refrigerator. Oh, sorry. I can tell because Beverly's laughing at me. Am I back?
You're like a strobe light.
Well,
You're like a strobe light. You're
Yeah,
gone.
the strobe sound. Yeah, you're back.
frozen.
You're back. Well, your voice is back.
oh,
Your
well,
picture is frozen though.
oh.
Yeah.